Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aghenov Rizdaka and my partner is,
Adinda Maharani.
and we're from group 12. We are going to discuss about the English teaching strategies for young learners in an international primary school in Surakarta and propose to fulfill the task of post-intermediate reading. And the first speaker is Adinda Maharani.
Thank you, Aghenov Rizdaka. First is introduction. In the Indonesian context, English is learned as a foreign language in which there is a limited chance for students to use the language actively with their surroundings. The subject is only learned in the academic area, such as schools and courses. Students tend to learn English through a textbook and focus only on sentence structure or grammar. Additionally, students rarely use the language outside the school, while the key to be a master in using English is not only to learn impassively, but also to use the language as often as possible communicatively in the real life. During the teaching and learning of English, sometimes the class atmosphere is boring. A teacher should be able to boost students' spirit in learning English and find effective strategies to make the student interested. Therefore, the goals of the learning process can be achieved. This research aims first to investigate the English teaching strategies for young learners in the international primary school in terms of teaching planning, implementation, and assessment. And for second is to investigate the students' response toward the implementation of the teaching strategies. For the discussion is the teaching strategies deal with the teaching preparation of English lessons in the school, including curriculum, documents, teacher professional development, and student seat arrangement. The school implements three kinds of curricula: GCIT, three curriculum because curriculum 2030 curriculum, and Cambridge Primary curriculum. They implement those three curricula because they want to achieve their purpose as stated in their vision and mission. The first strategy is recalling memory. Recalling memory is like an aid for the students to remember the previous knowledge that they have learned in the previous meeting. Sometimes, some of the students forget the material that is learned in the last week. Therefore, the teacher implementing the recalling memory strategy and accommodating in the learning process. The second strategy is brainstorming. As stated by Suyanto, 2008, brainstorming is a technique to generate an idea. Here, the teacher will come up with a topic and students will carry out their idea, which is related to the topic. The teacher conducted this strategy at the beginning of the lesson by delivering several questions to the students related to the materials. By this means, the students' curiosity towards the new topic is increased and their critical thinking skill is also improved. Besides, the teacher giving questions that relate to the students' life is successful in getting their focus on the learning process. The next strategy implemented by the teacher is class discussion. This strategy includes questioning and inquiry technique. The teacher delivered a question to the students, asked them to analyze certain information, and summarize the material into a conclusion.
All right, I will continue the previous speaker. And in this slide is still discussion. All right, another strategy in is game. The games conducted by the teacher were in the form of group competition and movement that dealt with language grammar. The group competition game was proven capable of increasing the students' participation and enthusiasm. They confidently represented themselves in creating some sentences orally, while the movement game, which included listen and move activities, helped the students to learn the material less stressful with pleasurable activity. Next is the fifth strategy is listen and read. In this strategy, the students both listened to the audio, which was played twice by the teacher, and read the text of the audio, which was provided in the textbook at the same time. This strategy helps the students to recognize the correct pronunciation of each word in the text. Next is the sixth strategy is listen and match. In this activity, every student had pictures of certain figures on their hands. They listened to the audio twice and directly matched the pictures with some categorization based on the audio. So here, the students did not have any text of the audio displayed. By having these kind listening techniques, the students were trained to have both competencies to listen to certain information and match the information needed with the pictures simultaneously. Next, please. And then this is the seventh strategy was vocabulary writing. After the teacher delivering the materials that contain rare and new vocabulary for the students, the teacher asked the students to write them in a certain book named Assignment Book. It was a book for students writing down their vocabulary that they just knew. The book contains 4 columns. The first column is for the name of the vocabulary. The second column is for the meaning in the Indonesian language. The third column is for the part of speech of the words. Finally, the fourth column is for students applying the words into sentences. This strategy helps the students to record their new vocabulary and apply it into a sentence. And this is the eighth strategy in the teaching implementation was concluding material. The teacher usually applies this strategy at the end of the material explanation. Strategy becomes an effective way to help students have the strength and precise understanding of the main focus of certain material. Next, please. And here's the conclusion. The implementation of the different teaching strategies by the teacher can increase students' participation, understanding, memory, interest, and motivation. In terms of students' participation, students actively participated in every learning activity that the teacher conducted. They were active and talkative, participating in the learning process. They were also eager to represent themselves in answering the teacher questions. Besides, they looked confident when they were delivering their thoughts to certain issues to the whole student in the classroom. And that's all from us. Thank you everybody for watching this video and leave a like and subscribe this channel. Thank you.
Thank you.